U.S. and China signal trade thaw as soybean purchases set to resume. The U.S. and China reported constructive progress in weekend trade talks, signaling a potential thaw ahead of President Donald Trump's upcoming meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said negotiators reached a successful framework for further discussions, while China's Vice Commerce Minister Li Chenggang described the outcome as a preliminary consensus. Talks in Malaysia covered export controls, tariffs, rare earths, fentanyl, TikTok, and agricultural trade. Bessent confirmed that China plans substantial purchases of U.S. soybeans as a goodwill gesture to aid American farmers. Both sides hinted that the current tariff truce, set to expire November 10, may be extended, and Bessent noted the administration is unlikely to impose the planned 100% tariff on all Chinese goods on November 1. Analysts, however, cautioned that Beijing still aims to diversify soybean sources to limit dependence on the U.S. long-term.
IBM's key quantum computing algorithm works on standard AMD chips. IBM has demonstrated that one of its key quantum computing algorithms can run effectively on a standard AMD chip, showcasing the technology's potential to work with affordable, widely available hardware. Jay Gambetta, IBM's vice president of quantum, said this shows the algorithm not only works in the real world, but can operate on a readily available AMD chip that is not ridiculously expensive. He added, implementing it and showing that the implementation is actually 10 times faster than what is needed is a big deal. IBM continues advancing toward its multi-year goal of developing its Starling quantum computer by 2029.
Zelle to go global with stablecoins to power cross-border transfers. Zelle, the bank-owned digital payment network, plans to expand internationally by enabling cross-border money transfers powered by stablecoins, according to its parent company, Early Warning Services, LLC. The move marks Zelle's first step beyond U.S. borders and aims to make transfers faster and more efficient. The new service will be available to all partner banks, including JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America. AMD teams with DOE to build 2 supercomputers for scientific breakthroughs. AMD's stock rose after CEO Dr. Lisa Su and Energy Secretary Chris Wright disclosed a $1 billion partnership with the Department of Energy to develop advanced supercomputers. The DOE is building 2 systems to tackle major scientific issues like cancer treatments and nuclear power, which Wright said would supercharge advances. The first computer, Lux, will use AMD's MI355X AI accelerators and is co-developed with HP Enterprise, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and Oak Ridge National Laboratory, coming online in 6 months. The second, Discovery, will use AMD's MI430 series and is slated for activation by 2029, co-developed with HP Enterprise and Oak Ridge National Laboratory.
Qualcomm enters the AI accelerator battle against NVIDIA and AMD. The company unveiled its AI 200 and AI 250 accelerator cards and racks, which utilize Qualcomm's neural processing units. The AI 200 will launch in 2026, supporting 768 gigabytes of LPDDR per card for high capacity and lower cost. The AI 250, set for 2027, will feature an innovative memory architecture based on near-memory computing, which Qualcomm claims will provide 10 times higher effective memory bandwidth and reduced power consumption. The company committed to an annual release cadence and teased a new accelerator for 2028. Separately, Saudi AI company Humane announced it would use Qualcomm's accelerators, targeting 200 megawatts starting in 2026. Google and NextEra join forces to restart Iowa nuclear plant. Google and NextEra Energy have announced a partnership to bring the Duane Arnold Energy Center, Iowa's sole nuclear facility, back online by the first quarter of 2029. Once operational, Google has agreed to purchase the power from the 615-megawatt plant to provide a 24/7 carbon-free energy source for its growing cloud and AI infrastructure in Iowa. One of the plant's minority owners, Central Iowa Power Cooperative, will purchase the remaining output on the same terms. NextEra also agreed to acquire the combined 30% interest held by SIPCO and Cornbelt Power Cooperative, giving NextEra 100% ownership. Separately, the companies will explore deploying nuclear generation nationwide. This deal boosts NextEra's total executed energy projects with Google across the US to nearly 3 gigawatts.
Brookfield, Cameco, Westinghouse partner with U.S. to boost nuclear capacity. Cameco, Brookfield Renewable Partners, and Westinghouse Electric are collaborating with the U.S. government on an estimated $80 billion initiative to construct new nuclear reactors across the country using Westinghouse's AP1000 technology. This partnership aims to accelerate nuclear power deployment to meet the soaring electricity demand from AI and data centers. Westinghouse, which is majority-owned by Brookfield and Cameco, has already seen its AP1000 technology chosen for programs in Poland, Ukraine, and Bulgaria.
Rolls-Royce taps BWXT technologies for key components in next-gen nuclear reactors. The Memorandum of Understanding outlines plans for BWXT technologies to supply steam generators for multiple units and to develop a localization strategy to support global small modular reactor deployment. Rolls-Royce is currently the only company with multiple European commitments, including its selection as the preferred bidder in the Great British Energy Nuclear SMR competition, and a deal with Czech utility CEZ to develop up to 3 gigawatts of new nuclear power.
NVIDIA bridges AI and quantum worlds with new NVQ Link system. NVIDIA has unveiled NVQ Link, a new system designed to connect quantum computers with its AI chips, marking a major step toward merging quantum and classical computing. CEO Jensen Huang said the technology will enable faster processing for breakthroughs in medicine and materials science, while helping scale quantum systems to tens of thousands of qubits in the future. NVQ Link combines software and hardware to integrate quantum interfaces with NVIDIA's architecture, helping reduce qubit error rates and paving the way for next-generation supercomputers.
JOBY teams up with NVIDIA to accelerate AI-driven air mobility. JOBY Aviation shares jumped after announcing a collaboration with NVIDIA to enhance its autonomous flight technology, known as Superpilot. The partnership will integrate NVIDIA's IGX Thor compute platform, powered by the Blackwell architecture, which is designed to drive next-generation physical AI systems.
Trump cuts tariffs, strikes rare earths deal with China. President Donald Trump announced a new one-year agreement with Chinese President Xi Jinping during their meeting in South Korea. The deal covers rare earths and critical minerals and is subject to annual review and renegotiation. Simultaneously, Trump halved fentanyl-related tariffs on Beijing from 20% to 10%, effective immediately. Tariffs on all Chinese exports will also drop from 57% to 47%. Trump also confirmed that he discussed the sale of NVIDIA chips to China with Xi, noting it's up to Beijing to continue talks with NVIDIA. However, the latest Blackwell accelerators were not the focus of discussions. In a sign of warming relations, China recently purchased its first cargoes of U.S. soybeans in months. Trump confirmed plans to visit China in April, with Xi expected to return the U.S. visit later. Powell warns December easing far from guaranteed. Wall Street finished mixed after the Federal Reserve cut rates by 25 basis points to 3.75% to 4.00%, marking a second straight cut. Fed Chair Jerome Powell cautioned that a December cut is not a foregone conclusion. Far from it. In his address, Powell stated, "In the committee's discussions at this meeting, there were strongly differing views about how to proceed in December." U.S. launches massive drone push. Era of drone wars begins. The Pentagon's Department of Government Efficiency has been put in charge of a major revamp of the U.S. drone program, aiming to streamline procurement, expand domestic production, and deploy tens of thousands of low-cost drones. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the U.S. is entering an era of drone wars, learning from Ukraine's battlefield. President Donald Trump elevated drone modernization to a top defense priority via a June executive order. Reuters reported the goal is to procure at least 30,000 drones in the coming months, with larger orders to follow, benefiting U.S. manufacturers like Red Cat, Skydio, PDW, and Neros. Solid Power joins Samsung SDI and BMW to accelerate solid-state EV batteries. Under the arrangement, Solid Power will supply sulfide-based solid electrolytes, which Samsung SDI will integrate into battery components and cells. The cells will then be evaluated based on agreed performance criteria, with the shared goal of producing all solid-state batteries for a future BMW demonstration vehicle.
Google drops free Gemini AI upgrade for Geo users. India becomes AI battleground. Google will offer its Gemini AI Pro plan to Reliance Jio's unlimited 5G customers in India at no extra cost for 18 months. Google said eligible users will access the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, expanded image/video generation via Nano Banana and Veo 3.1, Notebook LM, and 2 terabytes of cloud storage across Google services, including WhatsApp backups. The bundle is valued at approximately $400. With massive mobile adoption in India, US tech firms are racing to scale AI in the market. Earlier this week, OpenAI announced a free one-year ChatGPT Go subscription for Indian users starting November 4th.